So in today's meeting, we're just going to start nice and gentle by going around and telling each other a little bit about ourselves.
Hello, my name's Mystic Mike, and I play games on easy mode. I've been doing it for years. Not even really Mystic, just Mike.
For shame, Mystic Mike, for shame. Right, I'm just gonna change up my tactics a little bit to get over this difficulty spike. Just go down to settings and tweak that, and then okay, you've caught me in the act, the forbidden act of playing video games on the easiest difficulty setting. It's a hard thing to admit to in a society that shuns easy moders as cowards and not really gamers. Barbed criticism like noob and get good fired at us like the deadly one-hit kill missiles we're really not used to having to avoid. But behind all the extra hard mode bravado of many a gamer, I reckon there's a fun-loving easy moder just waiting to explode in a shower of joy and no game overs. Here are 7 times we admit we put it on easy mode. Don't judge us. There are many reasons you'd put a game on easy mode, lots of which I'm going to cover in the next 10 minutes or so, but let's get the most obvious one out of the way. Sometimes a game is just too difficult, simple as that. There's no shame in admitting that. Definitely no shame. Devil May Cry was one such game for me. I mean, I suck at action titles like this, what can I say? I was doing okay and really enjoying myself, despite the fact that at the time I was miles outside my turn-based JRPG comfort zone, until I came up against Phantom. Now, I've mentioned this battle before in Bosses You Won't Beat First Time, and that's because he killed me, and killed me, and killed me, and killed me. You get the idea. And then the game does that thing, doesn't it, where it goes, you seem to be having a bit of trouble here. Would you like to turn the difficulty down? Yes, please, Devil May Cry. And so I did. And I instantly killed Phantom by standing in front of his lava barfing face and pressing square 6 times. I felt dirty, but not as dirty as I felt relieved. It was like a big weight had been lifted from my shoulders, and I set about pirouetting my way through the remaining 5 or so hours of game, juggling helpless marionettes and slaying helpless bosses, all while the coolest music in the world pumped through my headphones. I was obsessed with the Blade movies at the time, and so I'd put that soundtrack on, turn the game volume down, and replay entire levels just to enjoy the gorgeous gymnastic violence. I don't regret putting it on easy mode one bit, not even when the friend who'd recommended me the game subsequently shunned me for 3 weeks by playing Magic the Gathering with the media studies guys, instead of us cool philosophy students in the back of the canteen. I was so cool when I was 18. Metal Gear Solid is our next entry, and before you start hammering the dislike button faster than you did Circle during Ocelot's torture scene, hear me out. I was 11 or 12 years old when I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and my PlayStation was at my dad's house, and I only went there on Sundays. Combine being a kid whose gaming experience up until that point consisted mainly of running sideways and jumping, with the fact my playtime was fractured and irregular, and you'll excuse me for putting Metal Gear Solid on easy mode. Even then I found it really hard. It took me a literal month of Sundays, and that's not even a figure of speech there. I'm talking 4 entire visits to my dad to beat Ocelot at the beginning. The first boss fight, I know. I was pretty awful at the game, to be honest. It took me ages to understand how to dodge the lasers that led to the Raven fight. 5 Sundays were spent looking for Meryl's codec number, another 3 trying to work out how to beat Mantis. This was my Dark Souls, okay? Everything took ages, but when I finished it, yes! Maybe that's what started my love affair with the series, as well as it being objectively amazing. I forged a bond with that game. By the end, my dad was watching me play every weekend, the plot twists shocking us both, the drama of Meryl's death. Yeah, I let her die as well. The joy of realising that meant you unlocked the stealth camo and could run around having the most fun ever while guards were none the wiser. Man, easy mode rules.
Entry number 3 is one of Holly's, and it's the Mass Effect series, a trilogy that for many people is all about the story and the characters and how emotionally invested you become in building your very own Commander Shepard and with them, saving the galaxy. And sometimes that's all you want from a game, to be taken for a narrative ride and to enjoy the fantastical sights without having to expend any effort whatsoever on, let's be honest here, sometimes pretty grueling gunfights.
For some people, that's intrinsic to the whole Mass Effect experience, and so they whack the difficulty up to insanity and, you know, good for you.
But when you just want to get to the next sexy bit with Kaiden after spending 30 odd hours renegade dialogue optioning your way inside his space trousers, the last thing you want is to be pinned down behind cover for ages by an extraterrestrial bullet sponge that's hell-bent on making a cocktail out of your hit points and enjoyment. I mean, that's time that could be spent checking out Kaiden in the buff, isn't that right, Holly?
Also, it adds to the role-playing aspect. Shepard's an absolute badass, and so if you're coming unstuck in every gunfight, it's just not a realistic portrayal of the character, is it?
That's right, it's roleplay, not cowardice. Our next entry is Spec Ops The Line, which is a game where combat and your unquestioning eagerness to engage in it is the whole point of the story, so of course we started out by sticking it on normal, or combat ops as Spec Ops likes to call it. So there we are, enjoying the customary beginning of the game bit, led through the early stages by the comfortingly familiar tones of Nolan North, getting to grips with the cover system, plugging a few bad guys, la la la, what a great game. Then, less than 1 hour in, this happens.
Yeah, boys! Take cover! Hey, you motherfuckers! Don't you know how to fight?
What am I supposed to do here?
You're pinned down by a relentless barrage of gunfire. Seriously, at one stage I just sat there and listened to it hammer down like torrential rainfall. No let-up. The kind of gunfire where as soon as you peek out for a pot shot, your screen instantly goes black and white and does the "you're nearly dead" heartbeat sound effect.
This isn't good, Dave. This isn't good. Any ideas?
One, but it's insane.
Just go for it. We're sitting ducks like this. Okay. Wait, what are you doing?
I've got to do this, Dave.
Rob, no.
I've got to do it.
No. No. No!
Yeah, bite me. I enjoyed the game from here. I didn't die 6 times every time I got into a firefight, and it's not like easy mode mitigates the emotional wallop of that white phosphorus bit. See? I was still challenged, just not with my thumbs. Our next entry is Uncharted 4, a game I did finish on normal difficulty first. See, here's my save file. In fact, I've even done a fair chunk of it on crushing during a now aborted attempt at the platinum. But there was that one time.
Rob, we need to capture all of Uncharted 4.
When by?
Tomorrow. There's no way we're going to be able to get it done.
Unless...
No, you are not playing Uncharted 4 on...
It's Uncharted 4 on the easiest difficulty setting. Aim assist, enemies go down in a couple of shots, Drake takes barely any damage, and look how much fun it is. I felt like a proper Indiana Jones, running through gunfire that always seems to miss me, swinging through epic set pieces, spraying cinematic death with every trigger squeeze.
It felt like an entirely new game, to be honest, one I think everyone should try.
Go on, I dare you. Put the stabilizers on. Have a blast without any fear. On crushing mode, you beat Uncharted 4. But on Explorer mode, you simply enjoy it. The game becomes so much faster, so much more like an explosive matinee action movie as you're flung through the story, henchmen flying into the air, the searing musical score serenading your guaranteed victory. Give in to temptation and have a go. We've got Resident Evil 4 as our penultimate entry, a game Dave was determined to enjoy after everyone banged on about how it was one of the best games ever made, etc, etc. And so he embarked upon his adventure, immediately falling prey to the lunatic baghead chainsaw man in what is essentially the first big fight in the entire game.
Well, how do I do this? He just keeps getting up every time I shoot him.
Yeah, he does that. You think you've killed him, you move somewhere else, and then brum, 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 the telltale sound of his chainsaw whirring into life lets you know that he's coming. He's coming, Dave. He's coming to get you. Just put it on easy mode, Dave. It's not even that scary, really. Resident Evil 4, until you get to the regenerators, obviously. Even I might have turned it down to easy for that bit. Our final entry is one that haunts me to this day. Back in 2004, I took a chance on Onimusha 3 Demon Siege, a hardcore third-person action-adventure that requires you knuckle down and master its precise, delicate combat system. Not my bag usually, but this had Takeshi Kaneshiro in it, an actor I fell in love with after seeing House of Flying Daggers as super handsome samurai Samanosuke Akechi, and also Jean Reno was a time-travelling warrior cop with a whip made of fire, so I had to play it. Also, the opening CG movie is still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Anyway, I digress. I really put my all into this. I played it on normal like a frickin' hero all the way until the very end, where I found myself up against the final boss Nobunaga with only one first aid kit in my inventory.
I must have tried this fight like 20 times, determined to finish the game, but one first aid kit just was not enough.
I came close a couple of times, agonisingly close, but his attacks were just really difficult to dodge, and I needed a couple more first aid kits to help me power through. But this is the end game. I couldn't go back and get any more. I'd saved the game right before this fight. It was win or bust. And so eventually I got worn down. I switched the difficulty to easy. I kicked the snot out of Nobby and finally saw the end credits.
It's the least proud I've ever been at finishing a game.
I'm sorry, Kaneshiro-san. I failed you. So, there you have it. 7 times we put the difficulty on easy. Who's going to be brave enough to tell us when they've done the same thing in the comments? Come on, we're all friends here. Don't forget to leave us a like and please do subscribe for more of these lists every Friday. Thanks for watching and don't forget to take it easy.